Hello everyone, welcome to the Hungarian Grand Prix, round 12 out of 20 now, so we're over halfway, even though we was already over halfway anyway last week, but yes, we are over halfway on this championship journey then, as of course this is tight and twisty, it's usually a dust bowl as well, but goodness me, don't we love it then of course, on the calendar since 1986 in Formula 1 terms, a couple of trimmings to the circuit, then of course we used to have a lovely chicane, didn't we, just after turn 2, but of course that's also been extended, and as well as the start-finish race been extended as well back in 2003, and then in 2005 we also had a bit of modification in turn 11 and 12. But it's used to be described as Monaco without the barriers, didn't it? But I must say it is very much like the closest that we're going to get to a Formula 1 go-kart track. It certainly is tight and twisted, and to be fair, if you like overtaking, then I'm not saying it, am I here? If you do like overtaking, then perhaps this is not the not the race to watch. Then, but having said that, it's going to be all about strategy tonight, which I absolutely love. Championship, then of course we're running very early tonight, so let me get my socks on. Unmortal leads the championship by 47 points. Extenders lead again over the triple world champion Sam Swift. MHD is currently in third on 126, 91 points adrift now. The championship leader Immortal. Brabant making his 60th Grand Prix start tonight. Happy 60th to Brabant on 116 points, only 10 away from the top three. Fantastic. Flippy, a superb season so far on 87 points. And Lucas Percy back in the stands and after being promoted to full time in the Racing Bulls in 6th. And Van Bon on 57 points. P's on at 45 along with Menace, who's happy 50th today to Menace. 9th for the moment. And Lights on 31 points. 30 for the Mercedes team. And not too bad. It just shows that both drivers are getting the absolute most out of that Mercedes car. 24 points for Troy. 12 points for Equals. And 9 for Nameless. 4 for Legend, Chazza on 3 along with Knowlesy, 1 for Morris, 1 for Cam, and Delando unfortunately has not got any points on the board. In the Constructors' Championship, then it's the Racing Bulls now who have been heavily upgraded, haven't they, in terms of the driver lineup there, with Lucas Percy, former world champion, now pedaling alongside AC Morton. They were leading anyway up until even before that, even before Percy was in the cockpit. 57 points for the King Sauber in second position. Alpine are in third. They've lost a bit of their shine, haven't they? Alpine have in the last couple of races, so they've dropped in that case they've dropped themselves down into third. Haas are in fourth position on 117 points, 91 points for the McLaren Mercedes team, 69 nice for the Red Bull Racing team, 58 points for Mercedes, 45 for Ferrari, 27 for Williams, and Aston Martin on a very low 10 points so far. So Aston Martin do need to get themselves well, what do they need to do? They probably need to pull their socks up a bit like me, as I lost my voice there in anticipation of what it promises to be a superlative Grand Prix. Who am I looking for? I think I'm looking for Lights here. Let me adjust myself because I've got a big old something in my button there. What was that? Oh, it's my remote controller. Fantastic. Oh, the final turn then. So 14 minutes on this qualifying session. We don't have knockout qualifying anymore. Hello everyone. Happy Sunday. And of course, if you are in the UK, you've all probably would have been startled by that 3 o'clock emergency alarm thing, which absolutely startled me, as it was about halfway through the Italian Grand Prix, or more, well, over halfway, wasn't it, from the Italian Grand Prix, which is actually now the fastest F1 race in history, wasn't it? I can't remember the exact time, but that's incredible, isn't it? Of course, that fastest race record was held all the way back since 2003. Of course, back in 2003, of course, when we was on V10 engines, and when we had the tyre war as well with Pirelli with Bridgestone tyres and of course Michelin as well. Michelin. I'm gonna go with Michelin because I think Michelin's more of an American phrasing, isn't it? Of course, also we've had a lot of storms in the UK as well, so of course, which very much woke me up as well from my slumber this morning. I'm like a bear out of hibernation. Hello, oh, I'm hungry, says Nosy, but let's go gold then. GL from Coop and Equals ALR with lovely heart emojis. There is Nosy, who is hungry, and here's Riley. And I got to be nice to Riley as he exposed me after the 100% race last week. Menace goes second fastest, his teammate. Riley then, of course, says I gave him wing damage under the safety car, which is an absolutely preposterous statement indeed. How would I ever cause any damage on other cars? Absolutely. Across the line, Riley goes 6th fastest, but horrifyingly as well. I thought I had a really good race, and I was actually boasting about how good my race was in the event league on Wednesday, and then unfortunately Riley just took the shine off of that a bit. Shocking stuff indeed then, but however that ginger range probably shouldn't be driving erratically under the safety car. Brabbitt's gone at 2nd fastest. This is Brabbitt's 60th Grand Prix weekend in ALR. Gold, I say, the top division then, or the top tier, the top form of motorsport is Brabbitt, currently 2nd fastest above there. Only 100th of a second away from lights at the moment, as we are very young into this qualifying session here tonight, which is good something. Lucas Percy goes 3rd fastest, of course, the last champion to be crowned before Sam Swift Ninja come in and kind of took over of Grand Prix racing so far in the last 3 seasons or so, but we do have a new contender in the form of Immortal, and goodness gracious me, Immortal has been pretty phenomenal. Brooksy goes 10th fastest. This is Brooksy's first appearance in gold this season. He's already made an appearance, I think, in gold in yesteryear. Sam Swift Ninja has invalidated his time. Now Van Vaughn has gone fastest in the Red Bull racing. That's not too shabby at all. Rocket Leader, of course, was a full-timer in the bronze league, and was he driving for Williams? For some reason I always associate Rocket League with Williams, but I don't think he was in Williams, was he? I can't remember, goodness me. Legends also in the middle part of the lap as well. We've got 3 reserves in tonight. Notifications off for Sarah Smushing exposed me again. Goodness me. To be honest, I have all notifications off, but for some reason that notification, I think it's the messaging that is not off, is it? Shocking stuff indeed. Here goes Legend as well, as it just coming out of turn 11, I think that is, and into turn 12 then. Of course, I feel so old when I say about how long Hungary's been on the calendar, because it still feels like a relatively young circuit. Immortal goes 2nd fastest there. Of course, we have some very good races around here over the years in ALRs. MHD goes fastest of the time running so far. Legends goes 10th fastest. We were just following the kick sour around. Teammate South Swift Ninja's gone purple in the first sector. What about Rocket Lee coming out of the final turn, turn 14, up to the line and across goes 13th fastest for Rocket Lee, who I am expected to be quite high up in this qualifying session for the Triple World Champion here. What is the qualifying times from last season, I hear you ask? I can't remember. Let's have a look. As it is, last season's pole position was actually set by Immortal for 1:13.521. Then keep that lap time in your mind. And Chaz has got the all-time lap record, which was set last season. So good stuff indeed there for Chazza. Set last season, Chazza got that lap record then. So we could see a new lap record here tonight. Then one of only 4 new lap records from last season. Sam Swift Ninja goes to 2nd fastest. I was talking to Sam Swift Ninja after the program last week then, and of course there are a lot of good races coming up then. Of course in the next couple of races then, of course Sam Swift Ninja won the Belgian Grand Prix from last season, then he won this season, then he won Hungary last season, and of course he won this race the season before and the season before that as well. Sam Swift Ninja has won the last 3 races around here, aiming for 4 race wins in a row coming up later tonight for Sam Swift Ninja. That is the target for the Triple World Champion for Sam Swift Ninja there. What's the all-time lap record around here, actually? Because I'm intrigued now. I think it's a... I don't know, actually. Goodness me. So it's not maybe season 8? No. Season 7? No. I think it's actually Chazza who's got the all-time lap record as well. Fantastic stuff indeed there. We've got 1:13.2 from John Cox, which is actually the all-time lap record from season 3. So I think it's John Cox who's got the ultimate lap time record around here from season 3. Goodness gracious me, that was a very long time ago here. Here comes Boxtown going out to the final turn and into the final lap as well. Then out of it, nope, not final lap, final corner. It's very dark in here. It's very rainy outside. I must say, here's Riley again. There, we're going to focus a lot on Riley tonight. Here is a gentleman who, I'm going to be honest with you, I apologise profusely. I know that Knowlesy, what does Knowles say? Sir Vatsta, I was going to say Vatican then. Is that like Vatican City? Goodness me. But a peddler who's making their debut tonight in gold, and I apologise profusely for this, butchering your name. I butcher everyone's name, to be honest. It's a trait which I apologise profusely about, because I do it quite a lot at the time then. I even butcher my own name, to be honest. But look, I got Sarvatsta. We'll go with that. That is awful, isn't it? Across the line there comes the harsh driver. 8 fastest, goodness me. Of course, I think that he's not done too shabby actually in the silver and bronze races. Let's take a look then. His previous races in silver, there, he did get a very solid 5th position in the Spanish Grand Prix. So I would say that it's not looking too shabby at all. He's never raced in actually in bronze, and so I apologize profusely. 8 fastest on there. Brabham currently into 6th position. We're just watching a light set. Who's invalidated and is in the wall. And goodness me, that surely damaged the suspension on the Mercedes car. Oh, goodness gracious me. Good heavens above. Just recovering now then. That's not ideal. Percy down in his 10th position there. But here's Menace, and happy 50th today for Menace. And it's also Brabham's 60th Grand Prix start tonight as well, which is cool stuff indeed. Cool beats. I do like those stats. Riley's 2 seconds down in the second sector. Knowles is currently into 15th position there. Knowles is the only Williams driver that is going to be eligible for points then, as we have got no Troy. And of course, we've got no Delano either, as unfortunately, as those drivers are having issues there. Srivatsa, we'll go with that. Srivatsa then is of course the harsh rider, and of course the 5th position in silver in the Spanish Grand Prix 18 weeks ago. So good luck to the harsh driver here tonight. Here's Chazza, then of course the lap record holder around here in race trim anyway for Chazza. Here he is, and of course our lap record from last week. Brooks, he's out of qualifying sadly. Someone of Van Von, I think, who's jumped up in the it's Menace who's jumped up in the 3rd position. Great stuff indeed from the Ferrari driver. Both McLarens are currently languishing on row 10 and the back row of the field, as Brabham's moved himself up in the 2nd. Now great stuff indeed there for Brabham, then on board with Chazza. So of course there's a purple on the 2nd sector for Chazza there as we come into turn 12. Out of turn 12, and that used to be a chicane there, didn't it? Of course, a bit of a hop, skip and a jump now. I think it wasn't changed in 2005 or 3. I keep saying 2003, you know, but I'm going to be honest, I think I'm just getting too old. Out of the final turn then, I don't think this turn's changed too much, has it? Apart from we got less grass on the outside. Chazza across the line goes 13 fastest there. Of course, lap record, as long as he goes 14 fastest, Chazza does hold the lap record around here, so expect big things. MHD then has already used a lot of deployment here for MHD. Has MHD been on the pole position before? He absolutely has. He was on pole position back in the Canadian Grand Prix round 8 of the season, or around 7ish, something like that. MHD yellow flag there. Excuse me, I've got a big exhaust outside my window. Great. Good stuff indeed there. So just now tackling this technical twisty. It's kind of for the leader, isn't it? And look at the back end drifting out. Who is that then? That's one of the Aston Martins there in the way. But of course, luckily Ghoston's on, albeit I'm old school. I reckon we should turn Ghoston off personally, but I think he will ensue pole position by over 0.2 of a second there from Immortal. We're talking about pole position there for potentially MHD, but Immortal's currently on 5 pole positions this season there. But can MHD respond? No, it is over 0.1 of a second there between MHD and Immortal. 2 outstanding drivers this season, and my cable keeps getting stuck under my flap. That's not good. Van Von is out on second run. Sam Swift and Ninja less than 1/10 of a second up in the 1st sector. 2nd sector is just after turn 11. This part of the course here, 0.2 of a second up in the 2nd sector there. What I want on the next game, which I don't think is going to I don't think it's ever going to happen, to be honest there, but you know, I'd like to complain. What I want in the next game is I want actual timing things, like in real F1, where you can see when they're up or down on the fastest time in personal best and all that kind of stuff. That's all I want in life. Across the line here, Sam Swift Ninja goes to 3rd fastest on the timing screens there, as you can see on the left-hand side tower, and of course he's still behind his teammate there. What's happening in the pit lane there? That's one of the Red Bulls. Van Von there just having to queue up. Menace there, who is into the pits now. One more run. There's a spinner there for Boxtel in the Mercedes. 8th and 9th. Mercedes just seem to live on the lower points of the season. What about Cam? Cam has 6.5 seconds on the pace in 17th position. I thought Rocket left. I think Rocket's just taking a sabbatical. Hopefully taking a sabbatical. But unlike Mika Hakkinen, he is back in the cockpit, which is cool stuff indeed. Which is good. As coming into the pits now for Cam, then as we got a got a bit of an empty circuit out, which is good stuff, isn't it? Absolutely fantastic. Yeah, so in terms of the qualification form book this season, it's been kind of all over the show. Immortals had 5 pole positions there, but then Sam Swift's on 2 at the moment. Now we've got 1 for MHD, 1 for Menace, 1 for Flippy, 1 for Van Von, and goodness gracious me, I need to even go down on my spreadsheet here. Have I missed anyone else? No, I haven't. So the pole position there is Immortal is a clear favourite, or a clear-cut favourite, and everyone else that is just ones all over the show. Flippy, who is in the pits, but I need to have read the parish notices there, shouldn't I, really? That's what a good commentator should be doing. But it's not the case that is. Here comes Riley. Riley out on circuit at the moment. Of course, this man exposed me, as I mentioned already in the event league last week. To be honest, I am a little devastated, to be fair, because I thought I had a really good race, and then I found out after the race that I broke Riley's front wing, which is shocking. To be fair to me, though, the front wings are very flimsy, even though they could probably support 2 of me, which is quite a lot of weight. I think that's half a ton of humanity. But even so, I apologise to Riley. But unfortunately, he has blotted my coffee book, as they say, which is devastating indeed. That I did finish 9th, though, which is really cool, or 10th. Probably should have finished higher, but unfortunately I bottled it in the final couple of laps because Serious Mushroom gave me a dodgy strategy. On board with Riley coming through turn 3. Right, where was I? Oh yeah, I've not checked in yet. It says Serious Mushroom, Naughty Mushroom, been busy. We'll do have to qualify. Busy? How dare you? To be honest, only recently I've got very good at checking in. But in my defence, I never used to have to check it, to be fair, because, because I was always, well, I would say, apart from this season, I'm usually always here or there. That's a lot of understeer from Rocket Lee, and that car was out of bounds, and Rocket Lee is going to be very frustrated in car 21 there, which is stolen my number, horror. But Rocket Lee, that understeer, you felt it when we was watching Riley. When he was watching Rocket, goodness me, there's too many R's. So we're just watching Riley there coming out turn 4 there, snap of oversteer from the Ferrari driver here, taking a lot of curve on the outside. That would have unsettled the car, and unfortunately it's not been placed very nice into that turn 6 and 7 chicane. And now of course left right there. If you get one of these corners wrong, it's like the Suzuka S's, but not as fast. Now if you get it wrong on one of the S's there, it's just an absolute horror show. 69, nice. 100 of a second up in the second sector time here. And now then, as we got more understeer there again for Riley, as I've lost my controller. That's not good. Oh, there it is. Out of the final turn then, as we've got a busy track then with just 38 seconds to go in this qualifying session. Riley goes to 13th fastest. Unlucky for Sam, but not for Riley. At least it was a vintage, says Serious Russia. To be fair, I haven't hit vintage in the last race or 2, mainly because I don't think vintage was racing actually the week before. On board with Flippy, just 1 lap there for Flippy. One of them, a man who has got pole position so far this season, but that is a lot of pressure on the McLaren Mercedes driver with the beautiful chrome livery. Might I add that? Immortals out on circuit. MHD's gone purple in the first sector. Sam Swift Ninja's about to start his lap as well. Oh, Van Von though, it's done. He's out of qualifying. He's invalidated his lap, 4th position. That is I think one of the drivers that I was expected to be in frame for pole position. Oh no, lights is Mr. Checker Flag. We've seen Rocket Lee having issues there and understeering at the exit of turn 12. He's going to be 18th on the grid. Pit stops for Boxer. Both Mercedes are done in this qualifying session. They are out into a Brabant. It's 5th fastest in the end there for Brabant. Got purple on the final sector. That's a very impressive final sector there. Who's got up? Equals has moved himself over to 8th position there. Good stuff for the Red Bull driver. The Haas of Menace Max has gone into 4th fastest in the Ferrari. And who's Flippy's got to be the 4th, but the MHD Candish is on pole position for the Hungarian Grand Prix. Going for a 2nd pole position of the season. Immortal tried to respond, but he couldn't, and that's him done. Lucas Percy's out there somewhere. Sam Swift Ninja is only found a 700th of a second in the second split time. Car is oversteering there for Sam Swift Ninja, battling the car. That might not be enough. It is not enough there. Sam Swift Ninja stays in 3rd position there. And what about Lucas Percy? He is down in the second sector on his personal best. Out of the final turn there for Lucas Percy. It stays where he is there. Not an improvement. And Cam, I think, is into the pits as well. MHD pole position, number 2 of the season, and his first pole position since the Canadian Grand Prix a few races ago then. Is the track similar to this one? Not really, but a fantastic pole position nonetheless for MHD. MHD. That's his second pole position of his season, and is that his second pole position of his career? Absolutely is. Fantastic stuff. I'm getting good at this. Brilliant 17th there for MHD. Pole position number 2 of the season there and of his career. Fantastic stuff indeed. Oh, I've given myself a suggestion. Right, let me update my book. 1100ths of a second now. Say Immortal didn't do it, but just by the minute margin, less than a blink of an eye there, separated the top two. Fantastic stuff indeed there. Lights, I messed up all my laps apart from the last one. I have so much time to find. Heavy, hardly rains as well on this game then. No safety cars and wowzers then. 17th, better than I expected. Laugh out loud, says Noel Seals at lots of love. I'm gonna go and check in. Back in a minute, says Serious Mushroom. It's about time. It's really going into the Grand Prix itself. But I was going. To be honest, I thought it was actually going to rain there, but it does look very overcast there, doesn't it? Goodness gracious me. I didn't go through the joint constructors, but as it stands at the moment in the joint constructors, it's a 13 points separates the Alpine and the Williams team. Williams have only got one car being represented tonight, and I think it's actually the same for Alpine as well, so that's going to hurt. Racing Bulls could potentially retake the lead in the joint constructors. They're only 19 points away from the Alpine at the moment, with McLaren only a further 28 as well. Remember, 1-2 is 44 points then, so even Aston Martin can jump themselves right up into second. That's how close. It's the closest the joint constructors have been, and I remember saying that this time last season. I'm sure I did. And then of course that all went to pot, because I think that the race and the RBs, as they were back then, was. The RBs was, of course, just fell over, didn't they? Lucas Percy, when was my last podium, sir? Oh gosh, now you're testing me. Hang on, let me get my other book up. Good job I got all my photos up, but it's because I wasn't actually prepared as we're just going through the formation lap then. 1 second, sir. Lucas Percy's last pole position was actually the Italian Grand Prix last season. So, in terms of gold anyway, I'm not sure if that's, in terms of the event league and stuff like that, I haven't got that book up tonight. Immortal's been disqualified. That's not ideal, is it? I've lost me, what have I lost? Oh, I've lost me headset again. God, I'm going to get wireless, I reckon, because I can't walk around very well. I keep strangling myself, which isn't good, is it? Right, let's get rid of all this telemetry stuff. Let's just go through the grid from front to back in this Hungarian Grand Prix. Hello, Sean. Hello, racers from Croatia, says Camera Racer. Good luck. Of course, Camera Racer is enjoying himself at the moment, which is fantastic to see. But I think that the Alpine team, Camera Racer in the Alpine, is it? Goodness me, I reckon it should stay in the same team for no kicks out. But we're on board with an Alpine at the moment. MHD, second pole position of his career in Grand Prix racing. Mortal has been left at the line there, but luckily, unlike real F1, you do not have to start from the back of the field. Third position is Sam Swift and Ninja. Fourth is Flippy. The top two are on hard tyres. It's a shortest run down in turn one compared to the other part of the lap. It's going to be deceivingly long now, so it's still long enough, I think, for Sam Swift and the medium runners there to have a challenge at the front two. Flippy in fourth. Menace, happy 50th today for Menace. I hope he does well. He's done a really good qualifying, but it's the race trim which Menace has struggled at. Van Boom then had an issue on this final lap that potentially could have been on these front two rows. I reckon he could have been on the front row, you know. Brabbit in seventh position. I'll be 60th for Brabbit. Nameless. Oh, that's a Red Bull off. It's Kaz who's having more issues out there. Nameless in 8th position. Percy in 9th position. His last pole position then was the Italian Grand Prix of season 12. Then we have got Equals in 10th on medium. Percy's on hard. Light said begrudging his qualifying performances. Chaz, lap record holder around here in 12th position. Brockstyle 13th. Sebasta in 14th position. Cam 15th, Legend 16th. Nosey, Riley, Rocket Lee, and Brooksy on the final couple of rows of the grid. I've lost my tower. As we know, we're all lined up on the grid now, preparing for the start of the Grand Prix. There's 3 stops on Wednesday, but this turn it's going to be more of a straightforward one. Go for the Hungarian Grand Prix. Flippy's had a terrible start in the McLaren. An awful start for the team, for the McLaren team. And then Flippy's dropped all the way down then to a 5th, a 6th, or 7th position. On the outside goes Sam Swift Ninja. Immortal's not in the... Where's Immortal gone? Immortal's dropped down the order as well. He's down into 3rd position there. And now Sam Swift Ninja's going to go from the 3rd on the grid to taking the lead. And that Hungarian Grand Prix. The master of the Hungaroring then is now leading this race, and that's exactly what I want to see. Menace has been forced off the road there from Van Von. Then Menace is trying to get back on. He may have got a warning for that. Then it's a scream through Fern 44, I should say. No, not 44. Contact there. Riley's having issues there. Brooks, it cams off the circle as well. My goodness gracious me. Riley's in the wall. Riley's out of the Grand Prix. And I'm not sure if there's a connection issue or desync or whatnot, but Riley was all over the show there. He's out of the Grand Prix. And it's a VSC so far in this one then. I got a 5-second penalty in bronze. That's rubbish. I'm reporting everyone. Says Serious Mushroom lost his podium there as well, which is a bit disappointing there for Serious Mushroom. Who's the steward in bronze? I would normally blame Favre, but I think Favre's steward is silver now. I think we'd have to blame Kiki. So VSC out there, there's no safety car, so this is a VSC. You have to adhere to into the pits, and comes Sam Swift Ninja. So Sam Swift Ninja on the medium tires is coming into the pit. Oh, there is a safety car. I didn't see that. So it's a safety car as Cooper, R.I.P. Lewis there as he's gone into the barrier. So it is a safety car. Only 2 cars coming in the pits is Menace and Sam Swift Ninja. I don't think Sam Swift Ninja's got damage. He's stopped in his box now, and he's going to be out of the pits momentarily, but there is a lot of overtaking he's got to do. Menace into the pits. Well, I love that shot. Fantastic. As he comes out of the pits as well. Biggest movers and shakers then. Well, up until, well, I think that we've got a couple of drivers moving from the back of the field there. But apart from that, it's very static, wasn't it, really? But that's not what you spurred down to turn 1. Sean, your pick and drive today. My laptop's at the unit, says Favre Ben. Goodness me, what unit is that for? Or are you calling me a unit? I certainly am a unit. This is just watching Menace. Both Ferraris having a horror show starting. Menace is down into 19th position. Sam Swift Ninja pitting, getting rid of those medium tyres and has gone to hard tyres. I'm not so sure about this strategy, says the strategy guru here. Do you think that it's a mistake to pit and then come out in the back of the field? He's got a lot of overtaking to do, as Sounds of Ninja, but there is going to be a high percentage of safety cars around here, possibly. Yeah. I'm not sure, but then again, what do I know? So Bert Mylander is out there. So MHD has retaken the lead. Then Immortal in second position with Van Von in third position. Brabbit is fourth. Flippy in fifth after having a bogged down start. Then we got Percy in sixth with Equals, Lights, Nameless, and Chazza completes the top 10. Those are the point scoring positions so far. Sam's not going to the end, says Serious Mushroom. A bit of both, says Farford, absolutely. So, in 12th position is Boxed Out. Mushroom, what is it? What is it? Hang on, let me go up a minute. Z Vatser, thank you very much. So Z Vatser in 11th position. Boxtal in 12th. I thought he was going to collide there. Cam's into the pits, and Cam is at the back of the field then. So I do understand this strategical development there from Cam then. So he's going to throw on the hard tyres now. Lap 3 out of 35 then, as he comes into the pits. And Harris can do about 20 laps, says Coop then. Great to have all you guys for company then, and trying to guide me through these races then, because I have no idea what I'm doing or talking about most of the time. All I know is that I like cars with front and rear wings and Formula 1. That's about it, to be honest. Out of the pit side comes Cam. All the strategical and technical malarkey, I have absolutely no idea. She Vatser says Serious Mushroom. Gosh, to be honest, and also I can't even speak out the time, can I? So Cam has gone hard tyres. Sam Swift Ninja on hard as well. Menace has come to the pits and gone on to medium. So Menace is going to have to do another stop because he started on the medium tyres, I believe. So that's going to have to, you have to do 2 types of tyre to complete this Grand Prix. And you can see that the top 2 are on hard tyres. Now we've got a rolling start then, which means that it's a less of a variable if you in a standing start, of course. And so I think that MHD and Immortal will be quite happy. It would be nice in the next game where you can pick to have like more standing starts after the safety car comes, which would be pretty cool, wouldn't it? I don't think the admins like it too much, but I love chaos, so more chaos the better, in my opinion. After Wednesday, I can confirm Sean has no idea. How dare you, Mushroom? I got 9th position in my race. And Serious Mushroom would have got the win if he followed my strategical expertise. Right, save the cars in. Burnt Mylander is gone then. So hopefully that's the last time we see Burnt. As much as we love Burnt, he wants to, he probably just wants to have a nice, easy afternoon, because Burnt has had a lot of nice, easy afternoons recently. Out of the final turn then, and we're going to be back racing again as MHD then is left it late. Now he's go. Look at that red ball all over the back now. As I was saying that it may be a bit easier to defend there from the medium shot tyres at the front too, but that's not the case at all, because here comes Van Von all over the gearbox now as Bradbury is trying to warm up his tyres. There's a lot of drives warm up the tyres, and Mosel's going on the inside now, but look at Van Von going to go for the switcheroo, and he's having his second position, and he passes the championship leader. Wow, good stuff indeed then. He just fired up those tyres, did Van Von, and Mosel's going to have to take a few more corners, or maybe even half a lap to a lap to get those hard tyres up then to the correct temperature here. It's still very overcast. I don't expect any rain then at this moment, but of course rain can come at any moment then, albeit Hungary, I would say it's less likely, as we have not had many rain affected races over the years in this Grand Prix. Flippy, I'm getting a bit of oversteer there. Percy in 6th position there. Decent start for Percy there. Equals into 7th position. Strong performance for Equals. Lights in 8th position there. Very disappointed of his qualifying, and that's why he's a bit lower down than probably what he wants to be, with Nameless in 9th position and Chazza in 10th position at the moment there. Nice move there, says Serious Mushroom, as we go into the final turn then. But look, Van Von is now caught up to the back of the race leader of MHD already. Incredible stuff indeed there. Van Von, a Grand Prix winner last season, and aiming to be a 2-time winner then, before the end of the season. Of course, this is round 12. It's Van Von has set the fastest after the race. This is round 12 out of 20 in this season's World Championship there. We have still got a long way to go. Sam Swift Ninja has set the fastest on the race. Sam Swift Ninja is made his way as a box out on the outside of Equals. Equals has got the inside, but the Lights will have the outside into turn. Oh, contact there. Lights are locking up the inside tyre and just could not stop the car. And that's a Haas has gone through as well. More contact. Yellow flags is fluttering out there somewhere, I think in turn 2. I'm not sure if Cam and Burksey's had issues there, but they're both at the back of the field having issues. But now Mercedes are once again locked together, like they are in the Drivers' Championship and in qualifying as well. Dearie me. So not good at all then for Lights. I think he just snatched the brake, didn't he? And unfortunately went in too deep. Legends in 13th position now. So Sam Triple Ninja is currently 16th. He's passed Menace is in 17th position as well. So both drivers have made up 2 positions so far, but I'm not sure if there's contact between Cam and Brooksy. Hopefully not. But there's yellow flags at turn 2, and it might have been the yellow flag, the legacy yellow flag from the contact earlier on in this one. I got a 5-second penalty for that, says that Serious Mushroom. So we'll see how the stewards make of that one there. But Lights, unfortunately, has lost more than he's gained so far in that instant there, as instant there in turn 2. I must admit, I didn't see Mushroom's instant there. But of course, sadly, I was too far back because I was hamstrung with a bad setup by my teammate. Percy now getting all squirrely. Sam Swift Ninja is now, and Brooksy's out of the Grand Prix. Unfortunately, I'm not sure what happened there for Brooksy, but obviously the car cannot continue. So Sam Swift Ninja fighting with Menace. Oh my goodness me! And all going through turn 3. They're almost side by side. Rocket Lee's lost out 2 positions there. Sam Swift 15th. Menace is in 16th position there. Menace wants to get past Toronto here, as Van Von has lost a lot of time somewhere, hasn't he? Goodness gracious me. Just on board now then, as let's go Chazza. Good evening to House here as well. And of course Chazza in 9th position. Strong start so far for the McLaren Mercedes. Kaz Van Von is already out of DRS. Not yet actually. He's 9/10 of a second away at the moment. Immortal FM then of course with a lovely heart there, and also but looking very concerned there. Sam Swift Ninja's past Knowles, moving himself under 40 position there. Of course Sam Swift Ninja has already changed tyres. He's already made a pit stop here, on board with the Triple World Champion now. coming into the final turn of turn 14. And DRS said, well, you're on the money. I do not expect him to be held up too long behind Legends, his teammate there. And what about Menace here? Menace does fly past there and going through. And there's the two kick salvage. That's one position there. The Constructors champions from last season. This season, they're down in third position at the moment there, but second, actually, I should say that, with the Alpines having a couple of issues over the last couple of races or so, which has really knocked them back ever so slightly. Soundtrap Ninja now in the 13th finish there. This time, going at a more not so difficult side-by-side action. Equaz is in trouble. Equaz is in major trouble. Lights has got a 3-second penalty. Equaz is off the circle at turn 5, and it's dropped all the way down to 14th position there. And goodness me, so a spin there for the Red Bull. He's a spin for the Red Bull, then Soundtrip Ninja. Oh, what's happened? Soundtrip Ninja's crawling, and on the outside goes Rocket Leader. What's happened there to Soundtrip Ninja? My goodness gracious me. And Soundtrip Ninja's made a lot of progress on these newer hard tires, and he came in the pits under the safety car, coming into the pits there, pitting, and a lot of the other drivers did not pit. The only other driver that did pit was Menace, who's now in the 13th position. Soundtrip Ninja's lost a lot of time. Now he's trying to dive up the inside of Rocket League in the Williams car. He is through, and up into 16th position there is the triple world champion. There's a long way to go still, but Soundtrip Ninja on lap 8 out of 35. Brooksy's left the session there as Immortal takes second position back from Van Von, and Immortal is now a second and a half away from the race leader. Then that could be problematic then later on. Then depends on how much MHD is going to be using his battery and all that kind of stuff. There's a lot of strategic elements in this Grand Prix. Soundtrip Ninja is on the outside of Knowlesy. Knowlesy is not going to fight too hard there in the Williams car. Knowlesy has not got the tools for the job this season. He has a radio station, says Serious Motion. It's all going, moves up then, as Lights loves a scrap then, says Coop. Absolutely he does, doesn't he? And I wonder if that was a comment about the contact maybe between Equals and Lights. I do not know. Whoa, what's happened? I know Chaz has absolutely disintegrated the braking boards there. So Chaz then obviously played a bit of bowling there, which is cool stuff indeed there. But unfortunately not for the drivers out there. They're going to be a bit, they're going to begrudge Chaz for doing that, because all these braking boards are quite important. I wish they was important to me, but usually I'm too focused on the race there. What's happened there is that's one of the Mercedes off now, and Menace is going to go on the outside of Box Towers. The team Mercedes there being Menaces here. As Menace is trying to go on the outside, he's going on the inside. Not quite. As it's going into 12th and 30th position. Remember that these two usually at the front of the field then, however, not this season. Van Von has dropped down into 4th position now. My goodness me, I'm missing everything here. Van Von is now in 4th, and now we've got Flippy in 5th position there. Lights is going past Chazza or Halsey, then there's Debris coming off of one of the two cars. But Lights is now through, cuts across Chazza and out up into 9th position for the Mercedes driver. As Menace is defending from Soundstrip Ninja again then. It's a replay from 2 laps ago, and they're going to go through. Yes, Soundstrip Ninja's up into 13th for this year. Whoa, almost contact between the two cars. Menace on the outside. Oh my word. And well, I think Menace backed out there, which I think was the most sensible option. But goodness gracious me, we almost had a Roman Grosjean-esque overtake from 2012. My word. Come on, Alex, only 4 places to go, says Serious Motion now, as that was, I think, a couple of minutes ago, because this race is absolutely just, it's flying by at the moment on lap 9 out of 35 around here. Of course, this is a very short circuit, but of course the average speed around speed around here is quite low, of course. But that's why we've got the high number of lappage around here. MHD is accelerating. I don't think MHD has had a Grand Prix win in his career. I'll go and get the old stat book out in just a jiffy. But the gap is now 2 seconds. Nameless is in the pits now. Here comes Flippy trying to get past Van Von, who Van Von's opening a couple of laps was impressive. Oh, contact! Is that going to damage the McLaren? No, I think it's okay. But now he's on the inside there as he just kind of nudged Van Von out of the way ever so slightly. Van Von's going to go on the inside, so Flippy's on the outside. Has he done it? Then he's got so much more grip. Van Von's tyres, I think, are gone, and through he goes. Magnificent stuff indeed there. Brilliant stuff from Flippy. Van Von is obviously struggling, but even so, that's a cracking overtake there from Flippy. Note that down, someone. That is one of the, maybe the vote for driver overtakes of the season potentially. Per se, we've got yellow flags out there as one of the Williams cars has had an issue of Rocket Lee, I think, Nameless out of the pits on fresh hard tyres. Lap 10 to 25. Can he go 35? Can he go to the end there? I'm going to ask the experts in the panel there if he can go to the end or not. Sound Swift Ninja then is now being stuck behind this gaggle of cars here. Chazza is almost at a DRS range of lights there, which is also mission critical because he's going to be a sit and duck or a sit and Mercedes going down that back straight. Sound Swift Ninja would like to get past these gaggle of cars now, but I have to say I'm not sure about the strategy still, but of course there I have been wrong before. I could be wrong again on this instance as well. He's just trying to get past. He's on the inside. That's a great manoeuvre, and he's got a certainly surprise Boxtel here as I'm going wheel to wheel between the two Mercedes and the kick Sauber and Ferrari versus Mercedes power. On the inside goes Sound Swift Ninja's going to brake later, and he does brake later. That Ferrari comes from a day late and a dollar short, and he has spun the Boxtel around. There's a Ferrari crawling as well there. I think that was a Ferrari anyway. Someone was crawling as well, and unfortunately, Sound Swift Ninja 10. That's not unfortunate. What is unfortunate is Menace has made contact with Boxtel, and not Boxtel's fault. I think Menace there was seen an opening and just lunged there, but unfortunately, then that was a day late and a dollar short on the inside there. There's Chazza. Look at that car just moving, and the back end is so unstable. Is that McLaren? Feels like my back end. My goodness gracious me. No one can go to the end, says Serious Mushroom. Alex loves a P12 as well. That he does, but I think Alex would prefer a P10 or above. But of course, that is the top 10. Only scores points then, unlike Bronze and the Event League, where the top 15 score points. Sound Swift Ninja all over the gearbox out of the McLaren once again. Chaz is really struggling, lap 11. So are we expecting 2 stops around there? Then Menace is through past Equals. Equals has had a great qualifying, but unfortunately in race trim he is really struggling. As Aston Martin forces its way through a Cam. That's an unconventional overtaking manoeuvre there, and Equals is elected to stay out then. I was wondering if he might come into the pits, and Sound Swift Ninja, whoa, I thought that someone went off the circuit then, as now Chaz is now out of the points, I think he is then, and through goes the Haas driver, and up into a 10th position, a great driving indeed then. This is debut race tonight in the Haas car. Sound Swift Ninja is now a second and a bit away from his teammate, and of Legends out, and Lights is about 6.5 seconds away from the next car up the road then, so all these gaps and Sound Swift Ninja's going to have to make up, and we are expecting Sound Swift Ninja not to go to the end here. Cam is all over the back of Menace, and as Menace is in 12th position, having a bit of adventures out there is Sound Swift and Menace are trying to get their way through the field at the moment there, which is fantastic. Nameless maybe, but it'll be close, says Serious Mushroom, of course. Nameless came to the pits 2 laps ago, so he's going to have to really think about looking after those tyres, and of course these days it is a tyre formula, which to be honest most years has been a tyre formula, especially the Pirelli era back in which started in 2011. But over the years you've always had to look after something, whether that was the gearbox or whether that was the engine or anything like that. It's more or less in F1 you always have to look after something, don't you? Today it is tyres. I'd also have to look after that car as well, because if you get any damage around here then I think it might be curtains. Which reminds you, I need to get a new pair of curtains actually, as they're mine are a bit black. Anyone into the pits? Yes, we got Van Von into the pits as Percy powers his way up to full position, passes Flippy. Percy's making his way through the field quite nicely indeed now. Van Von into the pits, and so one of the earliest runners had come into the pits, and then here comes, I think it was one of the Aston, no, it's one of the Williamses of Nolte getting past Equals. Equals is struggling, and through he goes, and then now through on the inside goes Cam getting past Menace. This is telling me that the Aston Martin is on the march stand, and it's also telling me that maybe the medium tyres are now not the preferred tyre, it's now the hard tyres are the better race tyre. My word, I always get so nervous when they go through there side by side. Fantastic. As Sound Swift Ninja is now up into 7th position. Rocket Lee and Van Von is fighting for position, down in 17th and 18th position. We should be watching that, to be honest, but we're just watching Sound Swift Ninja all over the gearbox of Lights here. Lights has lost another couple of seconds on this lap. It's 8.5. Lights' tyres, I think, are shot here. Sound Swift Ninja has done about 11-12 laps on these tyres, and so he could go a bit further. Van Von is through, passes Rocket Lee, has dropped down into 18th position. Look at the gap here between the Mercedes and the Kick Sauber. And of course Legends is also going to be into the pits, comes Percy in the pits as well on the outside here. No way. I thought that was going to be an incredible manoeuvre there, but no, not quite, as Sounds like Ninja's going to be going a bit more traditional. Percy's in the pits then, followed by Brabbit as well. Brabbit's in the pits, followed by Percy. So Percy not going longer than any of the medium tyres there. Whoa, and that's why a bit of late manoeuvre there for Lightset. It's now on the outside goes Sam Swift, and Lightset cutting him up there. Bit of contact between the two cars. And I don't think Rocket Lee out of the race as well. That might be a safety car. Oh, and so Rocket Lee has had an incident in the final corner, coming into the pit lane and is out of the race. What has happened there? Into the pits comes Equals there. Oh dear, oh dear. We've also got Chazza coming out of the pits. So there's a safety car for the second time here. We do not know what happened, but there is a wall that sticks out on the inside of turn 14. But a safety car, second safety car of the race then, is really going to throw a curveball, because I don't think we've had any races this year which has had more than one safety car. So this is going to get very interesting. Equals out in 17th position now. 3 retirements, Riley, Brooksy and Rocket Lee. All the 3 of the 4 reserves then out of the race, unfortunately, at this stage of the Grand Prix. MHD then is going to be coming into the pits. Also into the pits is a Malta and Flippy. I'm going to be honest, I think this is going to favour the medium tyre runners, and they're going on to the hard tyres. What do you gentlemen think? What do you guys and gals think in the comment section there? I would have been lambasted there. Goodness gracious me. We're all about inclusion. Into the pits comes MHD and a Malta as well. I think that anyone who's on the medium tyres now is going to be grinning from ear to ear. You know, whoa, Flippy there, get a bit hot-footed there on the accelerator. That's hard tyres again for MHD. So that is guaranteed. Oh, that's an unsafe release into the pits now. Medium tyres there. MHD has guaranteed himself a second pit stop here. Sluggish there from the Racing Bull. So the Racing Bull's been a bit disappointed about that. Flippy can go to the end. What about Lights coming into the pits as well? Sam Swift Ninja then coming into the pits. Let's see where Sam Swift Ninja then, who has been fighting his way up through the field. Nameless is going to be up to 4th. Nameless has had a great pit stop window here. 2 kick salvers. Oh no! And the 2 kick salvers. And Sam Swift Ninja, is that a long stop, or is that just us? What's happened? Well, Rocket Lee has left the session. Sam Swift Ninja is already out, so I don't think that was just a issue. It wasn't an issue in the pits, I don't think. So both kick salvers are actually not too shabby at all. In 9th and 10th position. Then Menace is in at 12th position. Knowlesy in 30th. Rod's cracking. Went to get a tee. Missed what happened then. Rocket Lee out of the race, and he crashed. I'm not sure if he crashed coming to the pit lane or the final corner. It looked like the inside of the final corner where something went a bit awry there for the Williams car. But out of the Grand Prix there. This is the second safety car period of the Grand Prix so far. Only driver with penalty so far is Young Lights. As we're approaching it now. So MHD is going to have to make another pit stop, I think, because he has to use a medium and a hard tyre. And currently, oh gosh, I've got real bad indigestion. What's happening here? Must be my chicken Caesar I had for tea. You know, I had tea about 4 hours ago, to be honest. Shocking stuff indeed. As of course, that's something I like to indulge in whilst watching Ted Kravitz's Notebook, one of the highlights of my weekend. But the chicken Caesar and Ted Notebook actually, but MHD has used 2 types of the 2 hard tires here, which means that he's going to have to go medium or soft at the end of this race. So MHD, I think that MHD's thrown away this race maybe, but also potentially as well. That's harsh, isn't it, of me to say? Or has he not and made a strategic call? He's got to somehow find a timing worth of pit stops in the next 17, 18 or 20 odd laps in this Grand Prix. A Mortal can go to the end then, but I gotta say, you're gonna have to go to the end on those medium tyres. It's gonna be a bit of a stretch there. Everyone is on the hard tyres apart from Legends, ACM also the championship leader, and Boxtel here. So an MHD of course is on the hard tyres and has to go to the medium tyres at the end of this race if it's a dry race there. And I don't see any rain, even though it's looking a bit ominous over there. Then, of course, where the water park is. And, of course, we've got a lot of water in that water park. Hopefully we won't get any water from the sky. Box Tower, we're just waiting for it to catch up because the incident has been cleared. 3 retirements. Riley out the race on the opening lap, then causing the safety car. Brooksy retired. And also Rocket Lee is out of the Grand Prix as well, unfortunately, at this stage of proceedings. So we think that at least MHD has to pit again. That is, there's no quarrels about it then for the Alpine driver. Then Immortal is going to have to try and get these medium tires to the end of the Grand Prix, which is going to raise my eyebrow a bit. But Immortal's been in such fine form this season that he potentially can do it, and maybe it's a stretch. Safety car's in this lap then, because we've now got Boxtel up to the back of the field then. I was wondering if Boxtel might have swapped to hard tires, you know. The mediums will be trash in 10 for 12 laps. MHD's probably got this, right? I don't think he has Mushroom, because I think MHD started on the hard tyres, so MHD's got to pit again, sadly, I think. Real Ashton there. Rock Lee was not supposed. Rock Lee, oh dear goodness me. Real Ashton there has got an opinion on the incident. Out of the final turn, then coming into lap. By the way, how are you today, Ashton? Ashton, I hope you're having a lovely Sunday. Across the line, then they come. Going down into turn 1. We're at half distance in this race. And look at that house car of Brabant and Nameless and final position. Nameless had a great period of this race then, but it's going to be on about 4 lap out harder tyres compared to the rest of the field. And here's Percy, who of course came into the pits and he's also gone for a 2-stop strategy as well then. So Percy, I was talking about MHC, but Percy's got to do the same thing and gone to the hard tyres and gone to the mediums or the softs at the end of this race then. As now then this is going up into turn 4 I think it is. I have no idea where I am on circuit. So I'm also going to have to make hay whilst the sun is shining. We've got a yellow flag out there, but I do ignore that yellow flag because I don't think that yellow flag is actually a real yellow flag, as all cars seem to be circulating on the track map. So we'll carry on as Will at the moment. Who is Will? I do not know. So will the others, or puncture, says Serious Motion. Serious Motion feels MHD is still in the box seats here. And of course, that's what I like about these races, and it's going to be very interesting indeed then, because I thought that gaining so much time, but Serious Motion does feel that the drivers are not going to get to the end on these tyres, and they're going to have to make a late splash and dash then. Of course, without the splash, of course, they don't refuel anymore. Of course, that has been outlawed back in 2009. Some say bring back refueling, other people say don't. And here comes Percy, who doesn't care about refueling at the moment. All he cares about is getting up into 5th position. Boxall set the fast on the race. That Mercedes then coming down the inside there of Kaz, and through he goes. Kaz Van Bommel then has lost a lot of positions then in the safety car period, and there's contact and down the inside and almost catching Nameless there. Great stopping power from Lights there. I thought he was going to plough into the other side of that Aston Martin. A lot of 50 comes on the road. It's Lights almost onto the curb there. He was on the curb, but and now up the inside goes Samsung Ninja trying to sneak his way through, and he is through, and glances to the left there and up into 8th position there. I don't think Van Von is going to be too happy with that there, as Samsung Ninja was not waiting for an invitation and he forced his way through, and in 8th position. Next target is Lights then, as we got as Nameless is becoming a bit of a cork in the bottle here, as that Ferrari was I thought that was Nameless going side by side with the second Aston Martin. Both Aston Martins are looking strong at this stage then. Nameless is too far back. I think I'm just seeing things actually. Back into the final turn once again then. The MHD is going to maybe lose the lead at this stage of the proceedings then, but once again the front two are starting to pull away. Once again then, as we fly down into turn 1 then, MHD then, Lucas Purchase at the fast on the right side, and here comes MHD! But no, here comes him also up the inside, takes the lead of the Hungarian Grand Prix, passes MHD, and through he goes and up into 2nd position there. Alpine down into 3rd there. We also seen Samsung Ninja gets past Nameless, and as has Young Lights, and Young Lights is now into 6th position. Samsung 7th then. Nameless is starting to jump back there, and I think that Serious Mushroom might be right on them. It might be right, because Nameless has got no pace on 9-lap out hard tyres, and I thought those hard tyres should be able to get to the end of the race there, but how wrong was I at this stage there? Menace has got a penalty from somewhere, unfortunately, whilst I was waffling on about all kinds of nonsense there. But in 12th position, Nameless is trying to get through this crocodile of cars here, which is not helping him whatsoever. On board with Percy, who's dropped Young Lights here. Hello to Vesser. Good evening to you, Vesser. It's great to see you back then. Of course, Vesser's had a couple of weeks off on the holiday, and we did have a scare as well for Vesser, but it's great to see Vesser back as well. It's great to have you in the comments section as well. Looking forward to seeing what Vesser can do tomorrow night after a couple of races out, though. So let's see what Vesser can do there, but I have no doubt that the man who's got a lot of race starts behind him should be fine and dandy at this very technical and twisty Hungary Grand Prix. Alex, one place from as usual then. Sean, just FYI, there's cracking coming from the mic, I think. Oh, apologies. Evening to Bessia then. I told him he was cracking. Ah, fair enough. He missed it. Up the inside goes, who? Up the inside goes, name Lars. Oh my word, I've just swallowed me tongue. And up the inside goes Menace. Oh my gosh, there. Gentlemen, a bit of decorum out there. I'm hoping that the cracking is just me smacking my mic because I'm getting too excited and keep waving my arms around. And I need to like sit on them. And through and Cam goes up into 13th position. Boggs Talent down into 14th in this one. Oh gosh, now I've swallowed something else. Oh goodness me, let's not go there, gentlemen. Oh my goodness gracious me. Back up into 7th position now is Sam Swift Ninja. In 7th position there we've got Lights in 6th position. Boggs Talent is currently in 5th at the moment. An incredible battle out there so far for every place on the circuit at the moment. This is incredible stuff indeed. Yellow flag, ignore the yellow flag. I don't know why it's out there. It's probably because it thinks I'm on circuit potentially. Mortal leads, but it's still only 0.4 of a second away from MHD. MHD is doing a great job. Flippy is almost out of DRS range, but I still think Flippy has got the optimum strategy here. He says. Soundstrip Ninja is now on the same strategy. Brabbit is lost out. Also, an MHD is retaken the lead, then gets past the Mortal. So those medium tires are not working out at all then, are they? Because I thought Mortal was just going to power his way past and then just go off into the distance. Absolutely no way, Pedro. Flippy is now all over the gearbox of the front two as well. Percy in 4th, Brabbit in 5th, Lights in 6th position, Soundstrip Ninja is in 7th, Cam in 8th, Kaz in 8th, I should say, Menace in 9th, Nameless in 10th position there, Legends in 11th position there with Nosey 12th, Cam in 13th with Boxtown 14th, Haas Driver in 15th there with Aquas in 16th and Chaza in 17th position there. Your son, man, haha, kicking the absolute snot out of each other is the front two as well. Oof, I'm almost coughing, I'm almost choking here, my word. Right, I need to, I've got to sit down a minute because this is ridiculous. Knowlesy now into 12th position there, so Knowlesy doing a good job. Going under the radar is Knowlesy, isn't he? Of course, he has got 3 Grand Prix wins to his name. However, I think his last Grand Prix win was back in season 2 of Azerbaijan, or was that Emerson? I can't remember now. But of course, I don't think that's something that Knowlesy wants to hear about, does he? Because the man who likes to just think forward thinking and all that kind of stuff. Alex 12th, yeah, here comes Sam Swift now, and he is swiftly past Lights. Lights gives him a squeeze. Not as bad as Barrichello and Schumacher in 2010. There's contact again there. My word, there. Lights is front wing. Goodness me, I reckon that's made out of titanium, isn't it? There a bit of bashing as well as Lights wants Sam Swift Ninja to move on quickly because he's got a battle between himself and Van Von here in the battle for 7th and 8th position there. Just on board now with Van Von in 8th position there, as Lights is still within DRS, but I do expect Sounds of Ninja to start to pull away ever so slightly at the moment. Is Menace is kind of in no man's at the moment. Nameless has got an old gaggle of cars around him. Nameless at the moment there is hanging it on and is able to keep himself within DRS range, which is important stuff indeed. What's people's handball NFL teams then for real? I must admit I don't know much about the NHL. To be fair, I'm a bit rubbish to be honest, because I probably don't understand what's going on. To be fair, is the San Francisco's 49ers still going? That's the only team I know. Did they win the Super Bowl last year? Oof, as Flippy just a bit too far back at the moment there. Percy in 4th, Brabbit's in 5th position at the moment there. And then we've got Sam Swift is about 2nd back in at 6th position. 7th is Lights, 8th position is Van Von. With Menace in 9th, getting a bit squirrely on the rear posterior then. And 10th position is Nameless as well. 11th is Legends. In 12th position is Knowles with Cam 13, Boxtal in 14th, medium tires then. 15th position is the Haas driver, I apologise. 16th is Equals and Chaz down in 70th row. Now had a good qualifying there, but unfortunately it's been a bit of a difficult race there for Chaz. And whilst his teammate Flippy is flying in third position about now on lap 23 out of 35 in this one. NHL Shorten, that's a delivery service. Um, I thought it was DHL was a delivery service. By the way, the only reason why I know that is because they were sponsored the Jordan team in 2002. I always have to reference this silly world of Formula One, don't I? Because that's where I get a load of my knowledge from in the world. That's the reason why I knew about the country of Abu Dhabi and Qatar, was because of Formula One. Out of the final turn, MotoGP. Out of the final turn, then it comes Flippy. Flippy has now been 4/10 of a second, and Immortal is struggling on those medium tyres now. And Flippy's going to go past. No, he stays back there. Is Flippy being a bit too? Is Flippy being a bit too cautious here, do you reckon, guys? Because I think that he should have taken his opportunity. Because now look who's in the background there. That is Percy, and Bravitt is also ready to strike as well. That could be costly. Soundswift Ninja has not shaken off Lights' attention so far. So Soundswift Ninja is struggling now. As we got in all kinds of great battling now. Oh no, we haven't. There's problems in the turn one, and we got a full-course caution. Sorry, that is. Oh, that's a whole nose cone gone for Equals. As Equals and Shivaska, oh gosh, having issues as well. I apologise. I blame Knowlesy, the admin there, for not prepping me. NHL is ice hockey. I don't know nothing about NHL ice hockey either. Equals having damage there. So we've got a virtual safety car out there at the moment. So that is not a full safety car, I don't believe. So is anyone going to use this opportunity to pit? This might be the best opportunity that the drivers on the medium tyres have a chance to pit then. I'm certain that MHD needs to come in the pit. Drive through pit! Now he needs to come into the pits because he's going to drive through penalty. Goodness gracious me. This race is just serving up action and drama in this one. My word. In the Hungarian Grand Prix is never dull. It's never a dull affair. And MHD is coming into the pit. Sorry, Immortals into the pits, and then Flippy is now got a de facto lead there. But Percy is also on his coattails as well in the battle for the lead of the Grand Prix. My word. Bravitt in fourth position. Soundswift Ninja in fifth. Lights is having a look down in sixth there. Just about stops the car. The championship leader has gone on to hard tyres now until the end of the Grand Prix. He's going to have fresh hard tyres. Whether that's going to make a difference or not remains to be seen. And of course, it's difficult to overtake. And out of the race there, and that's the fourth and final reserve driver out of this Grand Prix. And so Nolte is now into the top 10. Good stuff indeed there for the Williams driver. Legends is in ninth position, but one of those medium tires starting to fall off. And where is the championship leader? I hear you ask it. He is down in 14th position. There he is, but he's got a clear bit of track. Nameless in the pit as well. Equal's going to use some medium tires to get to the end of the race, which I think is fine and dandy. Knowlesy is under increasing pressure from Cam, as Knowles is also putting pressure on Legends there with Boxtel on 9 medium tyres. I don't think that Boxtel getting in too much pressure, unfortunately. Back on board now with Cam, and 10 laps to go in this Grand Prix. What an incredible race this has been so far. Absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. But unfortunately, it's not been fantastic. But in the reserve drivers, all the four of them are out of the Grand Prix. Flippy takes the lead. Second is Percy. Percy's got 1 lap older hard tyres, and at the moment there, it is not making too much of a difference. Flippy, Percy, Bravitt, all into turn one, all together. Soundswift Ninja has gotten out of Lights' DRS. That is crucial. Now, Soundswift Ninja, has he got the pace to get after the top 3? Especially he is now gaining 12 points there on Immortal, and he's narrowing the gap in the championship, but he needs to narrow it more, I feel. The gap is 47 points. As it stands, it will be 35 points at the end of this Grand Prix. That is still quite a big gap then, with just 7 rounds to go in this World Championship there. But of course, every little helps, as they say in Tesco's or Asda. My word, incredible. So we've just got Kaz who's putting pressure now on Lights. Because Lights has a 3-second penalty, which could hinder his progress. Immortal then, who is 9 laps to go. Immortal's going to, I'm wondering what Immortal's thinking at the moment. Soundswift Ninja's already in DR. There he is. Soundswift Ninja is going to recover to third position. Of course, Soundswift Ninja in the last 3 Grand Prix around here has won the last 3 races. And Soundswift Ninja in every Hungarian Grand Prix that has been hosted in ALR Grand Prix racing has been won. Percy's in the pit, has been won by Soundswift Ninja. Percy, I think, was on the hard tyres at the beginning of the race as well, so Percy's coming in for a splash and dash as well. I do think the two stops have not worked tonight at all. Goodness gracious me then. On board now with Brabant who's second, Sam Swift third, Lights in fourth position, Van Von in fifth, Max in sixth position, Menace in sixth position, Nosey up to seventh, Cam 8, Fox on 9, Chaz up to superb 10th, Mortal in 11th position, 12th is Percy. I think the Racing Bulls, the leading the Constructors' Championship, has got this really wrong, maybe. Out of the pits now does come MHD, then down in 15th position, the pole sitters having a nightmare race today. Here comes Sam Swift Ninja. You can see him. He's ominous now, coming into the views. Equals has got the fast side of the race. Van Von then is also putting pressure on his road. Going to have to go back to the front then. This is the battle for the lead of the Hungarian Grand Prix. As I said, Sam Swift Ninja is undefeated on this circuit in ALR Grand Prix racing. In all three events he has raced in Hungary, he has won all three of them, like he has at the World Championship. He has won 3 out of 3 in this championship quest as well. Fantastic. NHL, that's ice hockey. Toronto Maple Leafs. I was going to say Toronto Syrup then. Good 17th then. Yet to make it past the Stanley Cup playoffs, so they are like Arsenal, says Real Ashton. Harsh, but I think that is a fair assumption. And of course, as Arsenal seems to be the banter club at the moment in football, so we're going to say that the Toronto team is now the banter team in the NHL as well. Fantastic. Or is maybe not fantastic, actually, as Mortal is now into the points. Now that is crucial for Mortal fans. That's crucial for his championship quest as well. All on the back then of Boxo is going to have to be tippy-toeing now around the rest of this Grand Prix. He's going to side up the inside. He is through and up into 9th position, and that's what he needs to do. Precise, confident overtakes now for the remainder of this race, and 2 points is on the board now for the championship leader. Boxo going wide then, but luckily that wasn't a penalty. Sam Swift Ninja also taking a bit of curve there into that chicane at this moment then. Oh, round 2 then. Alex has shown off now in 10th position there. 9th, get the tissues ready. Tesco, get your club cards ready then. 8th, medium drive through then. Says good gentleman, of course, MHD. Unlucky that absolutely inside. Percy had to pit again. He went hard. Says Cooper. Are you impressed that I said that about giggling halfway through? Fantastic. It's Immortal Salvador 8th position. There he goes. Fantastic. Immortal Salvador 8th position. We expect Person to come through as well. Incredible stuff indeed. Then safety car come out and mess up his strats. And good the lad Nosey then. Gap to the leader, says Jenna. Let's take a look then. Where is the... Nope, that's the position changes. Let's get the leader up. There's the leader. Immortal's now 14 seconds back a moment with just 6 laps to go in this Grand Prix. Flippy leads. And now AC Immortal's got past Knowles in. Now it's up to 7 position. So next target is about a couple of seconds down the road. MHD has set the fastest up of the race set. I'm wondering and I do feel maybe I'm wrong here, but at this moment with 7 laps to go, I do feel that the 2-stopper is not the way to go. Personally, you can see here's the gaps at that moment. On board with Van Vonden, who's given lights cause for concern at this moment now. But Sam Swift Ninja as well, Vin DRS Ranger Brabant then who's in second. Flippy then who's leading this Grand Prix. Flippy has never won a Grand Prix in gold before. The Silver World Champion and who's been since he's been promoted into gold, that he has been incredible. Actually, the best silver champion we've had in gold in donkey's years, and he's doing a great job then, on course to potentially win his first Grand Prix of his career in the Hungarian Grand Prix. But he's got 6 laps then of absolute pressure, hasn't he, between himself and Brabant and Sam Swift Ninja as well. Sam Swift Ninja has done 1 lap less on his tires compared to Brabant. That might happen. Brabant's going for it. No, Flippy then. Of course, I wonder if he's just trying to distract the young McLaren driver. Then, of course, Brabant a silver champion as well. Cal Van Von is past Lights and moved up into 4th position. He can't get the power down, and now Lights is back past it as Cal Van Von has had 2 laps older tires on the 2 lap older hard tires, which could be costly at this stage there. Percy's up to 8th position now, and he's flying. He's 4 seconds away from his teammate there, and we got to Walter, who's 3 seconds away from Menace, from Max at the moment there. So Brabant there, I think, was just trying to distract racetrack, the young pretender of Flippy, who's not a pretender anymore. He's been superb in this season of gold and his debut season of gold. Brabham, of course, silver season 7 champion as well. Two drivers that have really come through the championships, come through the divisions, are now fighting for the Grand Prix win here in Hungary. Brabham's already got a Grand Prix win in his career in gold. Flippy could be the newest man to be added to that accolade here tonight. That 30 out of 35 vote. Soundsurf Ninja is about 5/10 of a second away. He is not going anywhere, is he? The triple world champion. This is crucial in his quest for the world championship. But now Immortal is starting to get some points on the board then. On lap 31 out of 35 in this absolutely incredible racing indeed then. Fantastic as we go down into turn one then, and Brabham there just looking this way and that way. But Flippy there just holding his line there, of course, not defending fresh air, is he? So Flippy is doing exactly what he needs to do there. Into the pits comes Boxster after 14 laps there on those medium tyres. I think that he was the last of the drivers then to not pit out there at the moment then. Back at the front then, so Boxster going to come to the pits and throw on some fresh medium tyres and maybe go for fast as that then with 4 laps to go in this one now. Whew. Troy's the best silver champ to go to gold. How dare you, says Serious Special. Immortal gaining 3 seconds a lap. 3 seconds a lap, nearly says Jinna. Serious Special there is accusing him of drugs. Shocking stuff indeed. So just watching the back of the front, the gap in the front end, incredible. So the gap is now, Immortal's now within 9 seconds there. Oh, do you reckon then, if he's gaining about 2 seconds, he might run out of laps here, you know, Immortal then. But surely, 4th position has to be on the cards then for Immortal, because they're about 3 seconds in front of for 4th position. That is certainly doable, I think, in this one there. Incredible stuff. Did on 1 lap before the traffic will play a part, says Jinner. As MHD has got a 3-second penalty, sadly, across the line on lap 32 out of 35. Just 3 laps to go, 3 tours of this Hungarian Grand Prix. Is Brabham going to make a last gasp effort into the lead of the Grand Prix? I don't think, no disrespect then, as Immortal up into 6th position now. I apologise, my brain's gone. Immortal is now up into 6th position. The next target is just up the road of Van Von and Lights, who have been fighting tooth and nail for that 5th and 4th position there. So that could get very dicey indeed for the championship leader. I'm wondering if Immortal possibly could have and should have pitted a couple of laps earlier then, maybe it's gone to the hard tyres. I'm not sure what you guys think. Check the fuel, says Serious Mushroom. Of course, the fuel was a major factor, and let's get that telemetry on that. Just on board now with Brabham, and we're going to go back to the intervals for the time being. There is the intervals at the moment. There's the gaps in between the front two, and then it's about 6/10 of a second there. Soundswift Ninja in third. Lights. Then we have got this man here, Immortal. Let's go on board with the championship leader. Of course, the first ever event world champion when ALR hosted it umpteen years ago. For Immortal was always described as a driver who absolutely thrived in the longer race format, but this season, and over the past 2 or 3 seasons, has become a major factor in qualifying. He has now got the most pole positions in ALR Gold history, and is now leading the World Championship with 5-6 wins already this season, and now he's going to go for Van Von here. Van Von does have DRS there, and now they're all going to scramble for one piece of track then, for Immortal on the outside then. Is he going to get the grip? He does get the grip, but Van Von is on the outside here, but Immortal does have the inside line into turn 2. Is he going to dive up the inside? Not quite then. He has gone wide then. Van Von then trying to go up and under, but I think that with the tyres life between the 2 cars, I think that might be impossible here. Immortal next target is Lights then, just up the road now. Incredible stuff indeed then, as the gap is now over 7 seconds with just 2 laps to go. So at this moment then, Soundswift Ninja will gain 3-point lead then, if 3-point will cut into the championship by 2 points then. If he 3 points then, if he gets past Lights at this stage here, and of course he will get past Lights, and he doesn't even need to overtake Lights, because of course Lights does have a penalty there. But you can see then he's got 10 lap younger tyres. Immortal is only going to have 2 laps to catch the guys at the front. The guys at the front have long gone now, unfortunately, for Immortal's point of view. But what a drive there to get himself back in the full position there. I'm not sure sure if he's, I think he's thrown away, maybe thrown away a podium position here potentially there by doing a two-slot strategy. But let's see what the goals there. Percy is now, you'll see Percy in the background. There is Percy. There is Percy's out challenging Van Von there. And now here comes a Morrison up into fourth position. And Percy is going to full, so far his way past Van Von. There he is. Percy up into sixth position now. And I don't see Percy challenging. Equan's got a 3-second penalty. I don't see Percy challenging his championship quest and teammate. Percy has been involved in the championship battles before, hasn't he? So I think he knows that he'll be a very good wingman, I think, there for later on. How dare I call Percy the man with the man I think who's got like the second highest Grand Prix wins of his career in ALR Gold potentially. I'll have to get a stat book out for that one. But how dare I call Percy the season 9 world champion of wingman? Goodness gracious me. But Percy, I don't think he's in the championship fight this season, but certainly preparation for the next season. Flippy is almost out of DRS range of Brabbit, and Brabbit that could be in major peril here for Sam Swift Ninja to maybe get himself up in the second position there, which would give him 6 more points then. Eat into Immortals lead then by another 6 points potentially. And Percy then might be able to try and get past, well, he's already passed Lights in terms of the time because of Lights has got a 3-second penalty up there. Knowles, he's got a 3-second penalty. That could cost him 9th position now because Cam and Nameless are very close behind him as well. On the final lap then of the Hungarian Grand Prix. What a barnstormer this one's been then. And here comes Percy on the outside. Percy is up into 5th position, locking up both tyres as Lights defends there, but he's got no tyres, has he? He's got no purchase. MHD's got past Knowlesy and up into a 9th position now. Percy's on the inside. There is contact between the two cars and Percy's through into 4th position. Lights out. Oh my goodness me, there's contact and Percy's off the circuit and Percy's into the wall. Oh my word. And Lights there as Percy's out of the Grand Prix. Contact then in turn 3. I must say that we've had so many near incidents there in this race there in that turn 3, but sadly that did happen on the final lap, and Percy out of the Hungarian Grand Prix, and that is harsh for the Racing Bull team. Devastating indeed. My goodness gracious me then. And Flippy is coming into the second to last corner and coming into the final corner for the 35th and final time. And Flippy is going to emulate Heikki Kovalainen with win this first race in Hungary out of the final turn. And Flippy wins the Hungarian Grand Prix, his first win of his career in Grand Prix racing there. Flippy, the silver champion, wins the Hungarian Grand Prix, and that is an incredible feat then. And Flippy, I must say, Flippy, what a racer, and withstood the pressure from Brabbit, withstood the pressure from the triple world champion, Sam Swift Ninja, who is in mission critical as well, to try and eat into Immortals lead then, but he has eaten into it ever so slightly by an extra 3 points, but Flippy has won the Hungarian Grand Prix in fine style, his first Grand Prix win of his career in Grand Prix racing, of course, said in terms of the top tier. Brilliant stuff indeed for Flippy, and I think he's going to be overjoyed with this result then. Splendid stuff indeed for the McLaren driver. Wow. Absolutely mega stuff indeed then. Absolutely incredible. Ooh. I've lost my bottle of squash. There I said, I'm wondering if this man has a big future ahead of him. Not only a big future there, but I think he has a big future in terms of maybe next season as well. As Flippy there, dancing the step onto the podium. Let's take a final look at the classification. Flippy race winner, then fast lap for MHD. Then it's been a messy race on poles here. Driver of the day goes to Cam. Sam Swift Ninja most overtakes there. Cleves driver goes to Cam. Final classification then from the Hungarian Grand Prix. Flippy, Grand Prix winner, his first Grand Prix win of his career. Second was Brabbit today, with Sam Swift Ninja in third, and has eaten into the championship lead by 3 points. Immortals, great recovery drive back into fourth position today. Van Von in fifth with Menace in sixth. MHD finished seventh in the end there. Good stuff indeed. Cam from 15th to 8th. Brilliant stuff indeed. Nameless in ninth there. Lights finishing in 10th position after that late collision with Percy there, and we'll see how that one plays out. Knowles' final 3-second penalty there cost him points there. Chaz in 12th position with Legend Legends in 13th, Boxtel 14th, 15th, Equals Retirements with Percy. The Haas driver, Rocket Lee, Brooksy, and Riley all retired then from this Hungarian Grand Prix. Absolutely mega stuff indeed. It really was in this epic Grand Prix. Fantastic stuff indeed in this one. Oh my word! Right, let me sit down because I've really hurt myself. Goodness me, and I am very sweaty indeed. So it looks like I'm going to have a shower. Damn you all, I say. Damn you all. Whew, my word. Cam! Flipping finally. So Cam is very happy with that performance today. And we got Brabbit in the comms box as well then. Brabbit, what a drive to second today. But what do you think that this is a good second position, or do you think that the win was there because you were so close to Flippy in the end? And I did see you have a couple of sniffs there at the inside. Do you think that this is a win-loss today?
First of all, Flippy, congrats. Really glad and happy for you. I just was imagining we were both silver champions and now we were fighting in gold for a win. This is just incredible. And today you deserve it. I gave my absolutely everything, like really everything. And in the end, yeah, in the last two corners, it was so hard to follow Flippy really close. Like the dirty air was kicking really hard, and in the end, in the straight, I didn't want to make a really huge dive bomb because Sam was also involved behind us, so I was waiting and trying to push Flippy into a mistake, but he didn't did any mistake, so congrats to him. Really happy for him. But to be honest, I don't feel like I lost the win. Of course, the safety car put Flippy in front of me, but it is what it is, and I guess like the luck will be some day back for me. But um, yeah, the safety car overall helped me because I jumped from, I don't know, from P4, P5, P6 up to P2. So it was helping me, and Flippy was just in the right place at the right moment. So he won the race, and congrats to him.
That's very nice of you, bro. But when I was trying to gold you, you still was very nice. I love it. But talking about the safety cars today, we've had two today, which is a bit unusual for gold. And you said it helped you. Do you think that the one helped you more than the other one, or do you think both safety cars elevated you to second today?
Uh, I don't know. I was so focusing because the pace at the front was so high. Like I was not managing my tires one lap in this race. I was always driving like full push. Immortal and MHE were so quick at the front, so they were out of pace for me. But then the safety car played in our favor. And yeah, they had to stop again. I knew it, but I couldn't save tires at all, so I was really pushing hard to stay at the front. And yeah, today I was lucky with the safety car. Some days it can be bad for me, but yeah, you cannot influence it, so it is what it is, and you have to do the best out of the situation.
And you see a couple of your rivals did go on the two stops today, which I was quite shocked by that. Do you think if you went on the two stopper that might have helped you, or do you think that the one stop was the best way to go in this race today?
I heard about it that the two stops should be equal or even faster, but I was just unsure about the traffic because I prefer like doing my own pace and even manage the tire a little bit than rushing through the field because there can happen a lot of carnage. And so for me, a two stop was never a plan. And only if we have a late safety car, then of course, but we only had early or mid safety car, so two stop was not my plan, and was I was planning for one stop.
And you're now, I think you're very close, or maybe even in third position in the Drivers' Championship now. For a man of your stature who's won so many Grand Prix in silver, and of course starting to win in gold as well, and of course a champion as well over the last year or two. Do you take satisfaction of being as high as third in the championship, or are you more thinking about this is more preparation going into next season to challenge for the championship yourself in gold?
Sean, one step after another. So, to be honest, I'm enjoying the process. Like I'm ha having a good pace, having a good performance, and good races so far. Um, I think finally the experience shows off. Like I'm doing so many races, and now I can perform quite solid. And I try to continue. And I think from race to race. So we are only, I think like race 12 or 13 in the season, so 7 or 8 races left. So lots of points on the table. So we will see. But right now I'm happy with the pace and with the performance.
Really good stuff today. Well done, Brabant. Great drive to second position. Fantastic. Sam, who just joined the commentary box as well, finished third today. Sam, do you? I was quite surprised to see you come in the pits very early on after just one lap, then under the safety car. What was your thinking behind that?
Um, I saw that on. Obviously, I mean, stupid for me to assume that freaking doing the same strat as every other like 50% league race has ever done on like if you watch on YouTube that the two stops freaking quicker than every any other strat. And so I went for it, and I went for an early stop because I thought that with it being gold, there won't be that many safety cars. It would only be like, maybe one or two at the absolute maximum. So I thought if I go for an early pit on the first safety car and then maximally negate the 20-second loss for a pit stop, that I'd be fine. And whilst everyone else has done their stops for their strategy, I'd be out in the lead by about 10 seconds and have clean air. But I once again absolutely bottled it, thinking that there's going to be clean enough racing that we don't get multiple safety cars. Because I mean, it's a circuit that's not stupidly easy, where the barriers are not friggin' 500 miles away from the circuit. So there's of course there's safety cars 24/7. So it's the same old struts. So I mean, it's my own doing. It's my own mistake assuming that there's not going to be loads of safety cars, but yeah, that's what the strategy stiffed me. But I mean, it's my own doing. I was the one that chose the strategy, and that's the reason why I lost the race.
I think there was a couple of moments as well when you were coming through the field where it was getting a bit hairy, wasn't it? How difficult was it to get through the field without any damage? Because I must say there was some close encounters, and I'm sure that there was even contact, and maybe even you half spun it coming through the field. How difficult was that to get through the field just after the first safety car came out?
Oh, yeah, it's very difficult. I mean, I mean, it's difficult on like most F1 games, obviously getting through the circuit, and I mean this circuit in general is very difficult. But I mean, it was just with the dirty air, obviously, is going to slow the progress, and then obviously, I mean, some questionable racing, shall we say? I will obviously, name names and sound like a dick, but I mean, there was some defending where it was just at all by all means, Maxley, just don't let me past. Which I'm obviously, even though it's going to sound like I'm going to have this agenda where people are against me and stuff like that, but when it gets to the point where I'm watching the race as it is unfolding, and then people are freaking letting other people through instantly, then obviously it's going to sound like I'm a whining bitch. And then Maxley, when I get to him, they're freaking missing their braking zone by 300 meters, and then freaking punting into the side of me just to let me through. Then it gets very frustrating. But I mean, it's something that I just got to deal with. But if it wasn't for that, obviously, I mean, in the traffic, I lost a full pit stop. So I mean, the strategy screwed me over anyway with doing a two stop, because I lost 20 odd seconds in the first freaking 10 laps because of the train going very extremely slowly at some point. But I mean, obviously, people are on older tires, and some people managed to get through quite a lot quicker than others. So I mean, it's my own mistake doing the strategy, but it is what it is. I just got to deal with it.
We mentioned in the last interview about you starting to eat into Immortals lead. It was only 3 points again today, but it's still more points that you've eaten into and coming into the final 7 races. And Immortals had a bit of a difficult race as well. Then, so can you take a bit of solace from what has been quite a difficult race for both of you today?
Yeah, definitely. Because I mean, for half a race, I didn't think I was going to score points, let alone outscore AC Immortal freaking in that race. Because I thought AC was going to be in the top three positions guaranteed. And honestly, even though it sounds like I'm sandbagging, like everyone else says, it's a joke that I do. I honestly didn't think I was going to get points with being stuck at the back of the train for half a race. So I honestly, when I saw AC Immortal do a second stop and being behind me, I honestly I was extremely surprised. So I mean, I'll take it that I managed to gain a couple points on him, but I mean, it's not really enough with only a handful of races. I mean, even though we're at Hungary, I think there's only a few races left to go in this season, and I need to be outscoring him by like an average of like a good 7 or 8 points. So if I'm only gaining a couple points on him, it's not really that good of a race. But I mean, from where I was at the start of the first half of the race, definitely take. I was scoring him by a couple of points.
And I think it was a really good recovery drive. Well done, Sam Swift, to get in a third position today. Magnificent stuff. And then let's come to Flippy, the first time winner in the Hungarian Grand Prix, Flippy. What a drive as well. And I got to say, there's so much pressure on you towards the end there, with both Brabant and Sam Swift hunting you down there, and even Brabant even having a sniffle too as well. What a drive, though, today, then. How are you feeling?
I'm just surprised because at the start my gear stick was in, so I couldn't go in first gear. But at the start, so I lost 3 places, and I was just thinking like my race is over. But then I think I used up all my luck for the rest of the season because MHD got a drive through in front of me, and then the safety car came out just at a perfect timing. So Immortal had to pit, and Stephen Bradley pitted a lap before, so then I came out third, which is basically the perfect position. And yeah, towards the end, I was just like, because I knew Sam had the speed to overtake, and so I just kind of like gave Stephen the RS and just kind of worked together by any means, or just kind of yeah. I don't know, I haven't talking anymore. I'm just so happy.
Is this now going to open floodgates now, because the Grand Prix win in Hungary, then it's a very tough and technical track then, and we're coming up with some very good classic tracks. Of course, we're coming into, I think, the Dutch Grand Prix next week. Similar but different, I'd say, to this circuit. And of course, very technical, very difficult to overtake as well. Are you aiming for your second Grand Prix too on the bounce like Lewis Hamilton?
Um, Zandvoort, I don't know. Zandvoort is decent track. I love racing there. The racing action is always great in Zandvoort, both in real life and in the game. But I don't know anymore. I thought last week Hungary was going to be one of the worst performances I would give out this season, but well, just on my luck, just used here probably. But yeah, next week is going to be tough with Zandvoort. You just have to stick in dirty air again, just like Hungary today. But it's easy to overtake, so then there's more action and there's more stuff to avoid and to put in consideration when you race. So yeah, it's going to be tough.
You were saying about luck and all that it may have fallen into place today, but also as well you have to be there to like grab that luck as well, because I think that you was also on possibly the perfect strategy. We've heard a lot about a couple of the drivers talking about two stops today, and I think that Immortal and MHD and I think Percy as well as Sam Swift were all on two stops today, and maybe that's what cost them potentially getting more points today, whilst you and Brabant did stick to the one stop. Was that always the plan, to go for one stop even with these safety cars that threw a curveball in?
Yeah, the one stop is definitely with the plan because track position is so much more important than pace around here. Just because the straight is so short, you can't really overtake without like in a DRS train. But yeah, I think Immortal was forced to do a two stop because of his tire situation. He fell on the hards and he had to box the mediums, and then the mediums won't do 20 laps, etc. But yeah, one stop is definitely the superior strategy today, and yeah, I guess I had to be there to grab the lead, but I got extremely lucky today, and that's the main reason why I got a win today. I think.
And talking about, well, I would say luck, because there's so many big hitters around you as well. Because you had the likes of Brabant and Sam Swift literally just living on your gearbox for the final stages of that Grand Prix. How difficult was it to keep your head then? Because a lot of drivers would have lost their head, and we've seen over the years of Formula One of drivers losing their heads when in the lead of a Grand Prix. How difficult was it just to keep yourself calm and cool, especially with Brabant had a couple of sniffs down the inside in the final lap or two?
Yeah, it's really hard, especially when the tires start to dig up towards the end, around like 50%. The rear just starts to go, and then you have to constantly check the mirrors and constantly check the delta time to the cars behind. Because if you, I think it's under 5 temps that you can potentially get overtaken on the straight. But yeah, I think there was a couple of moments that Stephen got below 5 temps of me, and then I just had to burn a bit more battery and stuff like that. But yeah, I think I had fresher tires as well. Yeah, I had one half of that fresher tires, which helped as well. But yeah, it was incredibly stressful, especially with Sam, because I think he caught like 4 seconds in like 2 laps, like after the safety car restart or something like that. So yeah, incredibly stressful.
And you're very close to the battling with the top three now with Brabbit and MHD. Do you will you be happy with a top three this season, or are you thinking more along the line of just getting some more Grand Prix wins there? Because both you and Brabbit, of course, silver champions there. Would you be satisfied with third position in gold then, or you only thinking about like world championship status for next season potentially?
The goal for this season is to get third because I want to get another trophy for my well, just one trophy for now from last season. But yeah, that's the goal, and perhaps from now on I'll start thinking about the championship more than just race wins because I got this one already. Just yeah, I'll probably race more with the championship in my head from now on. But yeah, third would be lovely. Would be more than enough for the season. And yeah, can't wait to watch the top two battle towards the end of the season. I think the points gap now is like lower, like 20 something. I think I'm not sure, but yeah, definitely would be a good fight with Sam and Immortal at the front.
That's a brilliant segue into the preview for the next couple of races. And thank you very much, Flippy. Brilliant drive today. Your first Grand Prix win of your career with Brabbit second and Sam Swift in third position. Tomorrow night, then, is Silver's turn. The Duke leads the championship by 7 points away from Mayran in second position, with Marky in third position, Kiki in fourth, and the top four are separated by 15 points. That is redonkulously close there. And Sweet then is not too far behind as well after climbing up the order very quickly like a hot knife through butter. And of course, we also had a first time scorers there for Jay Hings last week, which has elevated himself to the 19th. Jay Hings on a good run of form, as well as Riley getting his first podium of his career in 16th position. Then it is bronze on Tuesday night as well. Reflections has now got a 16-point lead over Smithy in the championship after Smithy having a couple of difficult races. Dynamo Dan in third position and 37 points back, with Styles also doing a great job in fourth position. Rosa Sky getting some decent points, but 4 points back now. And one of the championship is now just between Reflection and Smithfield Mighty as we go into the final 8 races of the season there. And of course, the event league is on Wednesday as well, but that's too much for my brain. I can't remember what's happening on Wednesday. But that is it then for tonight then. I will see you tomorrow night for some silver action as we remain in Hungary for round 12 of the World Championship. Goodbye.